Welcome back, dear students. I hope you all have a clear understanding of what has revised before. So now let us see the evaluation part of chapter 1, the living world. In evaluation part, we are having 8 1-mark question and 8 answer the following questions. So first 1 mark is, a living organism is differentiated from the non-living structures. So how will you differentiate the living and non-living based on the structures they are asking? The options are reproduction, growth, metabolism and movement. So reproduction, growth, metabolism and movement, these all are takes place in living organisms, but it is not in non-living structures. So the answer is none of the above. The option is not given, but it's an old book. In a new book, it's changing. So the option D, none of the above, you can write. Second one, a group of organisms having similar traits. Traits means characters. A group of organisms having similar character, that is a morphological character of a rank, is called a species. Species is an answer. And third one, every unit of classification, regardless of its rank, is the unit of classification regardless of rank, that is called as a taxon. Okay. Fourth one, which of the following is not present in the same rank? So different options are given: primata, orthoptera, diptera and insecta. Orthoptera, diptera, insecta all includes insects, whereas primata is the order which contains human beings, monkeys, apes, etc. And fifth one, so the answer is, fourth one, the answer is primata. So fifth one, what taxonomic aid gives comprehensive information about a taxon? So which taxonomical aid gives a comprehensive information? Means taxonomic keys. Sixth one, who coined the term biodiversity? So many 1 marks we have revised in this first lesson. So who coined the term biodiversity? Walter Rosen. Seventh one, cladogram considers the following character. What is a cladogram? The word cladogram கேட்ட உடனே உனக்கு ஞாபகம் வருது evolutionary tree. Okay, so evolutionary and phylogenetic is the correct answer. Eighth one, molecular taxonomic tools consist of. Molecular means உங்களுக்கு first ஞாபகம் வர வேண்டியது DNA and RNA. So the answer is DNA and RNA. So certain terms அப்படியே நீங்க யோசிச்சீங்கன்னா அதோட ஆன்சர் கரெக்டா இதுதான் அப்படின்னு தெரியும். So you can easily find out the correct and definite answers. Okay. Ninth question. Differentiate between probiotic and pathogenic bacteria. Probiotic bacteria means it is a useful bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria means harmful bacteria. கெடுதலை ஏற்படுத்துது. So probiotic bacteria, it helps to convert milk into curd. நம்மளோட day to day lifeல நம்ம இதை பார்த்துட்டு தான் இருக்கும். So example for this is lactobacillus. And the pathogenic bacteria means it causes diseases in plants and animals. Example for this is, I will give one example, Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is a pathogenic bacteria which causes cholera. Okay. 10th question. Why mule is sterile in nature? What is mule? Mule is a offerings that is produced from the male donkey and female horse. Some animals which can produce sterile offerings because of mating of closely related species. Closely related, இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு கூட சொல்லுவாங்க சொந்தத்திலேயே மேரேஜ் பண்ணோன்னா ஏதாவது பாதிப்பு வரும் குழந்தைக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி தான் இது. ஸோ க்ளோஸ்லி ரிலேட்டட் ஸ்பீஷீஸில் அனிமல்ஸ் மேட் ஆச்சுன்னா it can produce only sterile organisms. Example for this is male donkey with female horse which produces mule. And sir, there are certain examples in your book. So male horse and female donkey, it will produce hinny. Okay, likewise tiger, ligan, etc. Okay, next 11th question is, list the 5 salient features of a family Felidae. Family Felidae means Felidae, felis, not a cat. So Felidae is a cat family. They are obligate carnivores. So they eat the flesh-eating animals. Okay, they have sharp teeth. Flesh சாப்பிடுதுன்னா canine இல்லையா சிங்கப்பல். So they have a sharp teeth and claws to catch and eat the prey. They are mostly solitary, secretive, and nocturnal. So the nocturnal means they comes only during at the night time. Night time la அப்படியே வெளில வரும். Okay, so they are acute sense of hearing, smell, vision, and touch. They have very sharp sense of hearing. சின்னதாக சத்தம் போட கூட டக்குன்னு திரும்பி பார்க்கும் போனேன் இல்லையா. ஸோ அக்யூட் சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹியரிங், ஸ்மெல் இல்லையா, அது நல்லாவே தெரியும் நமக்கு. விஷன் அண்ட் டச். So these are the salient features of a family Felidae. It is cat family, carnivore, sharp teeth, so nocturnal, and senses are very active. And then 12th question. What is the role of Charles Darwin in relation to concept of species? Charles Darwin theory of natural selection இது உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். So Charles Darwin என்ன பண்ணாரு, ஒரு 5 years he made a great voyage. He அப்படியே வேர்ல்ட் ஃபுல்லாக சுற்றி வந்தார் in search of habitat of various habitats of plants and animals. So in 1859 Charles Darwin in his book Origin of Species, அப்போ சார்லஸ் டார்வின் என்ன புக் எழுதினாரு, Origin of Species. He explained the evolutionary connection of species by the process of natural selection. So evolutionary connection இருக்கு இல்லையா of a species by natural selection. On to 13th question. Why elephants and other wild animals are entering into the human areas? இப்போ நியூஸ் எடுத்தாலே இதான் இல்லையா, we can able to see அப்படியே முதல்ல நடந்து போச்சு அப்படின்னு இன்னைக்கு காமிச்சாங்க. ஸோ அப்படியே பார்த்தோன்னா நிறைய wild animals it entering into the living areas of human. Why? Because day by day the population is increasing. Population is more. As a result, the living area of the animals are destroyed by the humans. So the living area of the animals means the forest அழிச்சு human beings are occupying the forest for their shelter. So the wild animals live in the natural habitat. Wild animals அதோட natural habitatல தான் இருக்கு. ஆனால் ஹியூமன்ஸ் ஆர் மூவிங் இன் டு த அனிமல் ஹேபிடேட். நம்ம தான் அவங்களோட ஹேபிடேட்டுக்குள்ளே போயிருக்குமே தவிர அவங்க அனிமல்ஸ் நம்ம ஹேபிடேட்டில் வரல. ஸோ பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் பாப்புலேஷன், ஓவர் பாப்புலேஷன், யூ டெஸ்ட்ராயிங் த ஃபாரஸ்ட் ஆர் நேச்சுரல் ஹேபிடேட் ஆஃப் அனிமல்ஸ். Okay, so that only elephants and other wild animals are entering into their area, not the living area of the human. Right? Next, 14th question. What is the difference between the zoo and wildlife sanctuary? ஜூலாம் போயிருப்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ ஜூவில் போனால் அனிமல்ஸ் எல்லாம் அப்படியே கேஜில் இருக்கும். ஸோ அனிமல்ஸ் ஆர் கெப்ட் இன் எ பப்ளிக் எக்ஸிபிஷன். நம்ம மக்கள் போய் அப்படியே வேடிக்கை பார்க்கணும் ஜூவில். ஸோ அனிமல்ஸ் ஆர் கெப்ட் இன் எ cage for public exhibition, whereas in wildlife sanctuaries animals are protected from possible dangers. அதுக்கு வரக்கூடிய டேஞ்சர்ல இருந்து நம்ம பாதுகாக்கிறோம். ஸோ இந்த நேச்சுரல் ஹேபிட்டட் அனிமல்ஸ் காடுக்குள்ளே தான் இருக்குதுன்னா அந்த காடு மாதிரியே இருக்கும், அது மாதிரி சுற்றிட்டு வரும். அறிஞர் அண்ணா ஜுவாலஜிக்கல் பார்க் போனீங்கன்னா தெரியும், எவ்வளோ பெருசு இல்லையா? ஸோ அதை நம்ம சுற்றி வர்றதுக்கே அவ்வளோ கால் வலிக்கும், அவ்வளோ தூரம் இருக்கும். So we can able to see the animals living in their natural habitat, that is called the wildlife sanctuary. It is also protected by humans. Okay, zoo is a artificial habitat where the animals are kept in the cage. Okay, 15th one. Can we use the recent molecular tools to identify and classify organisms? In 1 mark itself I said molecular tools அப்படினாலே DNA, RNA. So with help of these molecular tools can we able to identify and classify organisms? Yes, absolutely we can able to classify and identify organisms. Some of the molecular tools are, first one is the DNA barcoding. So you have to know each and every part of this. DNA barcoding, a short genetic marker of DNA to identify the particular species. To identifying a particular species, a short genetic marker means a small piece of genes is able to identify the particular species. Second one is the DNA hybridization. So it measures the genetic similarity between pools of DNA. Pools means what? It's a group of DNA. நிறைய groups of DNA இல்ல, அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய similarities we can able to find out with help of this DNA hybridization. Next one is DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting. Fingerprint அப்படின்னாலே ஒவ்வொருத்தவங்களுக்கும் fingerprint மாறும். ஸோ நம்மளோட டிஎன்ஏஸ்லாம் மோஸ்ட்லி ஒரே மாதிரி இருந்தாலும் 0.1% ஆஃப் டிஎன்ஏ வேரி. அந்த வேரியேஷன் கொடுக்கறது தான் டிஎன்ஏ ஃபிங்கர் பிரிண்டிங். ஸோ திஸ் டிஎன்ஏ ஃபிங்கர் பிரிண்டிங் இஸ் யூஸ்டு டு ஐடென்டிஃபை அன் இண்டிவிஜுவல் ஃப்ரம் அ சாம்பிள் ஆஃப் டிஎன்ஏ. ஸோ டிஎன்ஏ ஃபிங்கர் பிரிண்டிங் மூலயமா ஈஸியாக நம்ம ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணலாம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஸோ இந்த கிரிமினல்ஸ்லாம் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறோம். இப்போ எங்கேயாவது கொலை நடக்குது, திருட்டு நடக்குது, ஸோ அங்கே உடனே வந்து கைரேகைலாம் எடுக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ with help of this DNA fingerprinting, we can able to identify the culprits. Okay, and then next one is the RFLP analysis. What is RFLP? RFLP is restriction fragment length polymorphism. Restriction கட் பண்ணுறோம், ஃப்ராக்மெண்ட் பீஸு, லென்த், ஒரு பெரிய டிஎன்ஏவை சின்ன சின்ன பீசஸாக கட் பண்ணி அந்த ஃப்ராக்மெண்ட்ல இருந்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ணலாம், we can able to identify the DNA samples. So that is called as restriction fragment length polymorphism, RFLP analysis. And last one is the polymerase chain reaction, PCR sequencing. 12th போனீங்கன்னா PCR அடிக்கடி வரும். ஸோ பாலிமரேஸ் செயின் ரியாக்ஷன், இட் ஹெல்ப்ஸ் டு ஆம்ப்ளிஃபை அ ஜீன். சின்ன ஜீன் இருக்கும், அதை யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம நிறையா கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியுமா? முடியாது. ஸோ வி நீட் நம்பர் ஆஃப் காப்பீஸ் ஆஃப் ஜீன்ஸ். ஸோ இன் ஆர்டர் டு ஆம்ப்ளிஃபை த ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் ஜீன், திஸ் பிசிஆர் சீக்வன்சிங் இஸ் யூஸ்ட் ஆஸ் அ taxonomical tool. So these are the different various molecular techniques and approaches in classifying the organisms. First one is DNA barcoding, DNA hybridization, DNA fingerprinting, RFLP analysis, and polymerase chain reaction. And the last 16th question is, explain the role of Latin and Greek names in biology. So we can able to see, நிறைய பார்த்தோம், எடுத்தோன்னே கூட பார்த்தோம் taxonomy. So அதை பிரிக்கணும், taxis, normus, இல்லையா? So in Greek, so the words are given in Latin and Greek. So what is the role of giving this Latin and Greek names in biology? So the Latin and Greek words commonly used in systemic names, which helps to those unfamiliar with the classical languages. So classical language தெரியாதவங்களுக்கு ஓகேவா, this Latin and Greek words வந்து ஒரு சிஸ்டமிக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க to understand and remember the scientific names of an organisms. So binomial nomenclature used for animals and plants is largely derived from this Latin and Greek words. So binomial nomenclature, you know that bi means two names, so one genus name, one species name. So this binomial nomenclature, it is used, which was proposed or introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. The evaluation part of chapter 2, Kingdom Animalia. The question is, the symmetry exhibited in Cnidarian is, the symmetry exhibited in Cnidarians is a radial symmetry. C. anemone belongs to phylum. C. anemone belongs to which phylum? Coelenterata. Third one, the excretory cells that are found in Platyhelminthes are, the excretory cells of Platyhelminthes is flame cells. And fourth one, in which of the following organisms self-fertilization is seen? Self-fertilization is seen in liver fluke. Fifth one, nephridia of earthworms are performing the same function as, nephridia is helpful for excretion. So this has flame cells of planarian. Flame cells is also responsible for excretion. Whereas gills, this trachea, this used for respiration. So the answer is flame cells of planarian. Sixth one, which of the following animals have a true coelom? True coelom. Which animals have true coelom? Perithema, that means earthworm. Seventh one, metameric segmentation is the main feature of phylum Annelida. Metameric segmentation is the main feature of phylum Annelida. In perithema, the locomotion occurs with the help of, so earthworm moves with the help of circular longitudinal muscles and setae. And ninth one, which of the following have the highest number of species in nature? Insects. Insects belongs to phylum Arthropods. So 10th one, which of the following is a crustacean? Prawn. Prawn is a crustacean. Sea anemone is a coelenterate. Snail belongs to mollusca and hydra belongs to coelenterate. So here prawn is a crustacean. which belongs to the phylum Arthropods. The respiratory pigment in cockroach is none of the above is the answer. Hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin, hemocyanin, and hemoerythrin is not present in cockroach. 12th one, exoskeleton of which phylum consists of chitinous cuticle? So which phylum consists of chitinous cuticle as an exoskeleton? Arthropods. 13th one, lateral line sense organs occur in? Lateral line sense organs occur in fishes. 14th one, the limbless amphibian is? The limbless amphibian, they do not have limbs. So the limbless amphibian is Ichthyophis. Ichthyophis. 15th one, four-chambered heart is present in crocodile. See the other options, lizard, snake and scorpion. These are all reptiles. So some reptiles, all the reptiles have a three-chambered heart except crocodile, which has four-chambered heart. 16th one, which of the following is not a correct pair? Whale, aminotelic. Whale is not a fish, it is a mammal, so it excretes urea, so it is the wrong one. 17th one, which of the following is an egg-laying mammal? Egg-laying mammal, Ornithorhynchus. Ornithorhynchus. And 18th one, pneumatic bones are seen in? Pneumatic bones means the bones which is filled with air cavities. It is seen in birds, that is aves. And 19th one, match the following columns and select the correct options. So in your public exams, questions like this will be asked. Pila means apple snail. So you can choose easily. The option is B, Pila, apple snail. And Dentalium is tusk shell. Chitopleura is a chiton. Octopus is a devilfish. 20th one, which of the following phyla the adult shows radial symmetry but the larva shows bilateral symmetry? Adult shows radial whereas the larva shows bilateral symmetry is found in Echinodermata. 21st question, which of the following is correctly matched? Physalia, Portuguese man of war. Okay, so these are all the 1 marks. So it's very easy for you to read. So don't go for options. Read as Phillips. Phillips madri padi. Question ketta takkana answer solano. Options edirparka koodadu. Right? It will get into your memory. Okay? If I ask the limbless amphibian is, don't ask for options. You have to say the correct answer. Ichthyophis. Right? Move on to the 22nd question. Why are spongin and spicules important to a sponge? Sponges exhibit cellular grade of organization. The body of sponges is supported by a skeleton made up of calcareous and siliceous spicules or spongin or both. So, why spongin and spicules are important? Because sponges are cellular grade of organization. So, the body has to made up of a calcareous and siliceous spicules, which gives a structure to that sponge. Next question, 23rd. What are the 4 characteristics common to most animals? So morning itself we discussed. So what are the 4 characteristics common to the most animals? The basic fundamental features such as level of organization, whether it is diploplastic or triploplastic, pattern of symmetry, coelom, segmentation and notochord, and these are the important characteristics of most of the animals. Question number 24. List the features that all vertebrates show at some point in their development. List the features that all vertebrates shows. So all vertebrates must have the presence of notochord, solid ventral tubular nerve cord and gill slits. Okay, these 3 features are shown at some point in their development, whether it may be in larva or it may be in adult. 25th question. Compare closed and open circulatory system. Already we discussed. So open means the blood remains in the tissue spaces and due to the absence of blood capillaries. Closed means the blood is circulated through the blood vessels by varying diameter. That means by arteries, veins and capillaries. 26th question. Compare cystocoelom with enterocoelom. What is cystocoelomate and enterocoelomate? Cystocoelom means the body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm. These are the two types seen in eumetazoa. Okay, cystocoelom means the body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm, whereas enterocoelomate means the body cavity is formed from the mesodermal pouches of Archenteron. You have to write the examples. 27. Identify structures that the Archenteron becomes in a developing animal. So identify the structure that Archenteron becomes into a developing animal. In eumetazoans have a true coelom. They are called as enterocoel, which is formed from the Archenteron. So this enterocoel is formed from Archenteron. One picture is given. Okay, observe the animal and answer the questions. So they are given this picture. So what is this? Name this animal. So this is a sea anemone. What type of symmetry does this animal exhibit? This exhibit bilateral symmetry. All the coelentrates are radial symmetry except sea anemone, which is bilaterally symmetrical. Is this animal cephalized? Cephal means what? Head. So does it have head? No. How many germ layers does this animal have? So they are asking whether it is diploplastic or triploplastic. They have two germinal layers. So they are diploplastic. How many openings does this animal digestive system have? So this coelentrates belongs to the incomplete digestive system because they have only one opening. This opening serves as both mouth and anus. And last one, does this animal have neurons? So they have a nervous system. So they have primitive nervous systems. 29th question. Choose the term that does not belong in the following group and explain why it does not belong. So there are various words are given. Notochord, cephalization, dorsal nerve cord and radial symmetry. So here the term is the radial symmetry because chordates are bilaterally symmetrical. Chordates are bilaterally symmetrical. So this is like choose the odd one. Question number 30. Why flatworms are acoelomates? Animals which do not possess a body cavity is called as acoelomate. They do not have a body cavity. Since there is no body cavity in this animal, the body is solid without a perivisceral cavity. So body ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கு, சாலிடா இருக்கு. This restrict the free movement of internal organs. உள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய internal organs ஃப்ரீயானா ஆகாது, மூவ் ஆகாது. So they are called as acoelomates, flatworms. Next, 31. What are flame cells? Flame cells are specialized organ which is helpful for excretion in platyhelminthes. That means flatworms. Flatworms have specialized excretory cells called flame cells, which is also responsible for osmoregulation and excretion. Next, 32. Concept of mapping is given. Use the following terms to create a concept map that shows the major characteristic features of phylum Nematoda. Nematodes means roundworms. They are pseudocoelomate and the digestive tract is straight. They are covered by cuticle. They show parasitic adaptations and they exhibit sexual dimorphism. Sexes are separate. And 33. In which phyla is the larva trochophore found? Trochophore larva is found in, you know that, phylum Annelida. Good. So trochophore larva is found in phylum Annelida. Question number 34. Which of the chordate characters do tunicates retain as adults? Tunicates means urochordates. So in tunicates, the dorsal tubular nerve cord is present only in the larval stage and a single dorsal ganglion is present in the adult stage. So this is the only characters adult retains. Question number 35. List the characteristic feature that distinguish cartilaginous fishes with a living jawless fishes. Jawless fishes. All members of cyclostomes. Jawless fishes means it belongs to cyclostomes. So all members of cyclostomes are primitive. They are poikilothermic, and they are jawless aquatic vertebrates and are ectoparasite on some fishes. Ecto means outer. They are attached with the other animals externally. So mouth is circular without jaws, and they are suctorial. They can suck the food from the other animals. That is the host. Example is the petromyzon and myxine. Cartilaginous fishes. These are marine fishes with cartilaginous endoskeleton. And notochord is persistent throughout their life. Skin is tough, covered by dermal placoid scales. So the skin is covered by placoid scales. The jaws are very powerful. Example for this is shark and stingray. Shark and stingray. Next, we move on to 36th question. List 3 features that characterize bony fishes. So what are the characteristics of bony fishes? Bony fishes includes both marine and freshwater, living with a bony endoskeleton. So it has the bony endoskeleton and the body is spindle shaped. The skin is covered by different types of scales called ganoid, cycloid and ctenoid scales. Respiration is by 4 pairs of filamentous gills, and it is covered by an operculum on either side. Fishes, you can able to see the operculum. இப்போ மீன் கடைக்கெலாம் போகணுன்னா மீன் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷாக இருக்குதான்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு செவில் மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதை திறந்து காட்டுக்குவாங்க பார்த்தியா. ஸோ அதுக்கு பேர் தான் operculum. Okay, so this operculum covers the gills. Next is sexes are separate and fertilization, external fertilization is seen. Most of them are oviparous. Example, exocetus, that is the flying fish. They lay eggs, so they are oviparous. Next question, 37. List the functions of air bladder in fishes. So what is the function of air bladder in fishes? There are so many functions of air bladders. It acts as an hydrostatic organ. Hydrostatic organ, that means it keeps equal weight of fish and volume of water, so that it can able to maintain a constant way of movement. Hydrostatic organ. And it also helps in respiration by exchange of gases. They also help in sound production. That means it produces some sounds. This, with the help of this air bladder, sounds can be produced. And it also acts as an auditory function, which helps to hear the sound. And last one is the sensory function. It helps to observe the pressure changes in water. Osmolality, it helps in maintaining the pressure changes in water. So these are the functions of air bladder in fishes. Hydrostatic organ, respiration, sound production, auditory function and sensory function. 38th question. Write the characteristics that contribute the success of reptiles on land. So how these reptiles are adapted to land? Reptiles are mostly terrestrial animals, and the body is covered by dry and conified skin with epidermal scales. So the skin of reptiles are dry, hard and covered with epidermal scales. So you can see so many pictures. Reptiles have 3-chambered heart, but crocodiles have 4-chambered heart. Reptiles have 3-chambered, but crocodiles have 4-chambered heart. Most of the reptiles lay cleidoic eggs. Cleidoic eggs means that it has a shell, outer shell, with extra embryonic membranes such as amnion, allantois, codion, and yolk sac. Excretion by metanephric kidney and or uricotelic. They excrete by kidney, and the excretory product is uric acid, so they are called as uricotelic. They are monoecious, sexes are separate, and internal fertilization takes place, and all are oviparous. They lay eggs. Example, turtle, tortoise, and house lizard. 39th question. List the unique features of birds' endoskeleton. Endoskeleton of birds. So the endoskeleton of bird is fully ossified, that is bony, and the long bones have air cavities. The bones have hollow spaces which is filled with the air cavities. Such type of bones are called as pneumatic bones. It helps to fly in air with low weight. It reduces the weight of the body so that the birds can able to fly. And the last question is, could the number of eggs or young ones produced by an oviparous and a viviparous female be equal? So oviparous viviparous produce பண்ணக்கூடிய eggs equal இருக்குமா? ஏன்? The numbers of eggs produced by an oviparous mother will be more than the young ones produced by the viviparous mother. So the number of eggs oviparous egg laying வந்து அதிகமா egg lay பண்ணும் than the one which carries the child, because in oviparous animals the development of young ones takes place outside the mother's body. Development takes place where? Outside the mother's body. The eggs are more prone to environmental conditions and predators. Therefore, to overcome the loss, more eggs can be produced by the mother, so that even under harsh environmental conditions, some eggs might be able to survive and can produce young ones. So the oviparous can lay more number of eggs since it is laid outside the mother's body. On the other hand, in viviparous organisms, the development of young ones takes place inside the safe condition of the mother. So they are less exposed to environmental conditions and predators. Therefore, there are more chance of their survival, and hence less number of young ones is produced compared to the number of eggs. So this question is very easy. If you understand it, you can write. So we finished our revision part, this evaluation part. So it's in your hand now. Now hand it over to you. It's you to study. It's you to revise. It's you to write the test. So prepare well for the test. Go through all the questions. Read the evaluation questions first. Revise. Write a home test. I will give you a home test then and there. Okay, so keep on studying. Thank you.